my friends, my community, thank you for joining me here as we talk about what you need to know when you manifest and the things that are going to show up for you along the way. So remember, we're constantly manifesting. We're manifesting when we are in fear. We're manifesting when we have lack beliefs. We're manifesting when we're happy. We're manifesting when we're open. We're manifesting when we're creative. We're continually forming our reality. Right? So when we do the work, when we do the conscious work, the conscious effort of manifestation, we have to be aware and ready for things to fall apart before we get what we want. That's number one. Number two, we also have to be open for things to change within us and our surroundings, and be open for things to show up in our surroundings that we might not expect. Expect the unexpected. That's number two. All right, so when we work through life, I'll give a scenario, maybe with relationship, because that comes up a lot in readings. When am I going to meet someone? Or even being fixated on a particular person. Am I going to get married? Is this person the one? I want this person. This is the one I want. This goes across the board. It's not just relationships. It could be with our home. It could be with our job. It could be with anything that we feel secure with, we want to feel secure with. So it's really important for us to be open to let go, and even just go within and just see how intently we are holding on to certain things in our life. That is so important, because sometimes when we hold on to things, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right fit for us. And when we go through manifestation, when we go through the work of projecting or connecting with our future reality, our future self, what we feel connected with, especially on our soul level, when we start to really do this work, this internal work, we start connecting and aligning with ourselves, with our pure, authentic self, what's going to work the most. Sometimes when we're working from another place of lack or desperation or neediness or wanting to fill a gap or a void, and especially with love, it happens very often, and I'm speaking from experience. We tend to just want someone. We become very fixated on the fact of being with someone, or we like a certain aspect of someone, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's vibrating from our frequency of love or resonating with our true, authentic, pure self. And when we go through this work, we go through the layers of ourselves, and we go through all of these habits and these beliefs and these patterns that we've adopted since we were young, from our parents, from our family, from watching TV, like the perfect love story or the romance story or whatever the case may be. We have so many influences in our lives that contribute to what we think is right for us. But what we think is right for us might not necessarily be the right thing for us when we really get into our soul, our purpose, our values, what we need, not we need, but what we feel that is so important for us, right? So when we go through manifestation, we have to be open for being challenged, essentially. So I'll give an example of my own. When I started doing my moon manifestation program for myself, before I was teaching it, I wanted financial stability. That was my number one, and I was so honed in on that one particular point that there was so much about my life that I also needed to look at. And there were some things that I added in, but the main thing that I was stressed about were my finances. And so I had that in there from the very beginning. I want financial support. I want X amount of money in my bank account, so on and so forth. But it was all around money. That's it. And I had such a lack belief around money for many, many years. And I am going to be teaching a lot about this as well, because I dissected this fully. And going through the manifestation program, things were happening with me that were so difficult to go through. I was shifting, I was changing, I was being challenged. I knew that inside of me, I started developing this sense of I needed to stand up more, I needed to put myself out there more, I needed to be more proactive, I needed to go after things more, I needed to be more aggressive with things, because also I had a lot of fear within me for being in front of camera or standing up for myself, or really being aggressive with sales or certain things like that. That wasn't my style. I didn't feel comfortable with it. It didn't really align with me at that time. But the work that I started doing with myself, my own journey, and things started also showing up in my life that were educational for me, that transformed me energetically, that I learned from, that I was inspired by, and the energy inside of me started shifting. Now, I was so, again, very single-minded on, I want money in my bank account. That's all I wanted. I was so stubborn and headstrong about this. Yes, I was. And when things weren't happening, when I wasn't seeing dollars going in my bank account, I was getting frustrated. I was getting angry. I was getting upset. And it was really, really a bad mindset to be in because I wanted this. I wanted this. When is this happening? How come I'm not getting it? I was like a spoiled brat, essentially, going through this process. And then I had this realization that my confidence actually has gotten better. I'm putting myself out there more. I'm going after what I want. I'm transforming people's lives. I'm in my zone. I'm in my element. This is all leading me to what I want. And I didn't see that at the time. I didn't see the transformation that I was going through personally. It wasn't about, hey, sign a check or put money in my bank account or win a lottery or whatever. It was all about me making it happen. And the universe was working through me so that I could be in my power or be in my confidence or feel self-assured to go after my goals and to make it happen for myself. And that's the thing too, because our society, and I'll say this a lot, I've said it already in a couple of my videos, we are in an instant gratification, instant reward society. We're used to handouts. We're used to people giving us things. We're used to, hey, I'm sick, give me this, or make me feel better. We're used to that, right? And again, it's not a fault of our own. It's how we have been raised in the society. And now we're moving into this place where we can step into our power of creation. And that's where we're moving to. But we also need to dismantle a lot of the layers that we have built throughout our lifetime. Another example, really great example of things having to fall apart before being rebuilt is through one of my clients, where this person was in a relationship and they were struggling with this relationship for months. And then all of a sudden, they went through the Manifestation Moon program with the one-on-one, and they were starting to change. Their energy was starting to change. They were becoming more confident. And their manifestation was really about them stepping into a new career, and not only a new career, but an upgraded level within their industry. And when we stopped the one-on-one, our time was over, but I just said, hey, you're good, make it happen. And then we did a check-in, I think it was a month later, and this person, the relationship this person was in fell apart. And it was really horrible, actually, how it happened. But I gave a reading to this person at that time, and I said, like, there's this fire that's really wanting to evolve within you, and you're meant to be this shining beam of light. You're meant to be the inspiring person that people want to be around, that you can influence others, you can lead through this light. And this person said, yeah, I used to be like that, actually. This is who I used to be. And I said, well, what happened? Where did that person go? And they said, it happened when I started this relationship. So they were in the relationship for years, and they dimmed their light. They dimmed their potential because they went into this relationship for maybe a reason, I don't know. But now that they had this opportunity to see what was happening, that had to fall apart for them to get their manifestation of what they want. So we have to be able to see some of those hard moments in our lives as, okay, and I've had this happen so many times to myself, as that needed to happen. That needed to fall apart for me to really get with what I want. And that's the work, the alignment work that we're doing with ourselves when we connect with who am I and what's important for myself, and owning it and staying true to that. And we're so used to also outside influences from maybe other people or family or friends, or again, even just society, that put pressure on ourselves to maybe choose a certain way or have an acceptable path in life that's based on a story that's not yours, essentially. So we need to be aware of when things fall apart. We need to be aware that it's happening for us. It's like a tower in tarot. It's the tower moment. It's something needing to fall apart in order for you to get what you truly desire and what you deserve and what's in alignment with yourself, with your true authentic self. And we do these layers, and there's so many layers within us that are happening. again, from an external perspective and from an internal one. And mine was more internal. No, there were external things that did happen for sure. Absolutely. But what I'm going through right now especially is more internal, and I'm finding my energy levels are increasing. I'm becoming more productive. I'm becoming clear with the work I'm doing. I'm laser focused. And this is all like, even a couple of days ago, I had an opportunity to fall back into my old pattern of worry, of fear, of doubt, of uncertainty, getting stuck in that, which I usually did. That was a pattern of mine. But I had just something pulled me out of it. And maybe it was myself, or it was just my guides, my energy. I don't know. I was not able to go back into my pattern of the past. And I almost tried a little bit in a way to test, like, can I actually go back? And I can't. So everything that has changed for me, all the work that I've been doing, has really moved me forward in a very powerful way, so that I can have a full bank account, I can have what I want. But it's not just that. For me, I'm not a materialistic driven person, although I like nice things, I like a nice quality in life, I want certain stability, but that's not my driving force. And so don't get me wrong, when I'm putting a lot of emphasis on that, I was in a place where I was really desperate. So that's why I had a very strong emphasis on money at that time. But there's so much involved in our life and our creation and our existence that need to line up and dial in for us to get what we want, depending on what our ask is, right? So be prepared for big change on many levels. Be prepared for things to fall apart. Be prepared to be open to receive from areas that you might not expect. Be prepared to let go to something that you might be holding on that might not really be of service to you, or might not be in alignment with your true self. Okay, so I do hope that is helping you with your manifestation journey and your transformational journey, whatever journey you are on. And I will be seeing you soon.